Hey guys, Grant here from Nashville Pack, and I'm about 2 months out from getting back from my second CDT hike. I know. And here to talk about the gear that I carried this year. So this is my cutaway made out of Ultra 100 that I was testing on the trail this year, and let's just get into it. In the outside pocket, generally speaking, I would have, and it's inside right now, but I generally have my rain jacket sitting out here, just a frog tog. I'll pull that out in a second. But most importantly, I would have my PLB, my stakes, and soap. So right off the bat, those were always very accessible to me for obvious reasons on all three. Also, of course, the rain jacket. In my vest straps, I always have my phone and my headphones, vital. I would generally have my buff out here. I'd use it for all sorts of things, wipe things down, use it to keep my ears warm or anything, and out here it kind of stays dry. Also makes me pretty visible, so that's pretty good. In the top pocket here, I've got my headlamp, trusty NU25 that I've been using for years now, still going strong. On this side, I would generally carry a lot of like toiletries and stuff, or things that consumable, so chapstick, bleach. I just have a little dropper of bleach that I use for my water. Often there would also be sunscreen in there. I threw the little bottle away, so go figure. Obviously, some water bottles. These are just empty water bottles from my trip last weekend. So let's get into the pack. First off, usually the most accessible thing that I have on the top of my pack is my ditty bag. And so this is just a little Dyneema ditty bag that I kind of throw everything that's loose and small in. So I have, for example, like my batteries in there, my toothpaste and toothbrush are in there, some small first aid, some scissors, my chargers, my cables, all sort of in there in one compact little spot. Easy to access if I need to get into it. Also have my tarp. This is an MLD Grace Duo that I've been carrying for years, and it is definitely at the end of its lifespan after about 12,000 miles. So here for the sake of the video, but no longer using this. Generally have an OPSAC, or in this case, a smelly proof bag as a food bag, and my spoon, and then there's a smaller one in there that I use for cold soaking. So this year I tried bag cold soaking for the first time. Worked great, don't need a jar. Let's go ahead and take out my ground sheet so I can sort of lay this stuff all out. This is my first year using a DCF ground sheet. This is a Z-Pax Altiplex sized ground sheet. It works well for me. I'm pretty tall, and so I needed something that was long and wide enough for me to use as a normal ground sheet. Very durable, super light. I had no issues with it, and this guy is definitely good for at least another through hike. So I've got some stuff laid out here already, and let's just start pulling stuff out. Gloves, obviously very important. I carry gloves all the time. I just have cold hands, so they're always with me. Bug head net. I always carry a bug head net. I don't have any sort of bug protection. I just carry the tarp. I don't carry a bug net otherwise. So normally my strategy for bugs is get in the quilt, put the head net on. Generally works for me outside of a few troublesome nights, but just deal with it. This is the rain jacket I carried this year. It's just a yellow frog tog, ultralight, very standard. It's lasted an entire through hike and probably still fine to use. So that's just what I have. My wind shirt. I actually wore this a ton on the CDT. This is a Montbell X-Lite wind jacket, X-Lite parka wind jacket. I got it from the Japanese store. I don't think you can get this in the US, but love it. Weighs like 2.5 ounces, and I would layer it on top of what you'll see later is my warmth layer. But a lot of morning hiking with this on. The CDT is generally very windy and very cold in the mornings and in the evenings, so definitely a piece of gear that I would not do the CDT without. So inside of my pack, against my back generally, I also carry my sleeping pad. This is a NeoAir X-Lite torso length pad that I've had for years and years. I used it on my first PCT hike back in 2017, and then I kind of put it away for a few years and was only using foam. And there's a lot of good reasons to continue using foam, but this hike I decided I wanted something a bit warmer and more comfortable and lower volume, with definitely less upside as far as being able to like pull it out and sit on it for breaks and stuff. I did miss that, not having my CCF, but I really liked the benefits of having this, and I'm probably gonna continue using this or maybe get a slightly bigger one because it's pretty small for me. So put that down here. Inside my dry bag, start out with the big boy, which is, this is my quilt. This is a Timmermade Wren false bottom quilt. You can see it doesn't actually open. It has a false bottom. Very warm, loved it. I decided to kind of splurge a bit for the CDT because the first time I hiked it, I was pretty cold. So definitely was not upset with this awesome piece of gear, and damn, Timmermade is always amazing. So shout out to Timmermade. I always carry a pair of wind pants. This is my Montbell Dynamo wind pants. These are the same ones I carried on my first CDT hike back in 2018. And as you can see, they are, well, I don't know if you can see it, but there are tons of very large holes in them. So these are retired at this point, but they made it through 2 CDTs, Arizona Trail, PNT. They, awesome piece of gear. I'll probably just buy another pair of these. This is new this year. This is my Senshi Alpha Fleece. I bought this secondhand, but ended up really, really loving it. Lighter than my previous fleece, and I think this weighs about 6 ounces or 5.5 ounces. It's Alpha 100 on top, the yellow, and then the blue I think is like Alpha 60. Not really the combo that I would have gone with in color or in the weights, but honestly, ended up working great. I really enjoy Alpha. There's a big discussion about it in the community, but worked great for this hike. Still great durability. I'll continue to use this piece of gear for maybe years. It's an awesome piece of gear. And I would layer this underneath my wind shirt a lot. The two together, exceptionally warm. I do have, and we'll show this later, I have a Torrid as well that I sent to myself for Colorado and all the colder sections, and all of that layered together. Well, not this, but this underneath my Torrid, crazy warm. But for the most part, this is all I carried on the trail as my warming layers. And then otherwise, beanie, just a beanie. And also, this is my Big Sky International Dream Sleeper pillow. First time I carried a pillow with me on a thru hike. It was great. Weighs like 2 ounces, very durable. I'll probably continue to do this as well. Big fan. And outside of the bag, that's basically everything I carried on the CDT this year. Here's the stuff I also carried specifically for Colorado, and I didn't even carry it that long. It was a very low snow year this year on the CDT, so I think I had this stuff sent to me in Chama, and I had it sent home in Leadville, so not that long. But I guess we'll start off. Micro spikes. These are Chainsen or Snowline Chainsen lights. I've been using these since 2017 when I first did the PCT. They're great. I use them for all that type of stuff. This is my ice axe. It's a Camp Corsa ice axe. I think it's 70 centimeters. It's the longest version because I'm pretty tall. Yeah, safety, always carry one of these. And then my extra layers that I'll send to myself. These are Patagonia Capling Thermal bottoms. have been working great for me also for years, many through hikes. I'd actually like to replace these with some alpha leggings if I get an opportunity, because I think these weigh maybe like 7 ounces and I could probably get something equivalently warm for like 3 or 4 ounces, but they're working and I have them, so I'll continue to use them. And then this is my Enlighten Equipment Torrid puffy jacket. Love it. This thing has many through hikes on it at this point, also still incredibly warm. I just don't need this much warmth normally, especially now that I have the warm alpha underneath a wind shirt, but always nice to have in super cold conditions. So that's a quick rundown of the gear that I carried this year on the CDT. Pretty much just thrown together. Sorry for the sounds and stuff, but I hope that kind of gave you an idea of what I carry on my through hikes. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, just throw them in the comments or send us an email at contact@nashvillepack.com. I'll get the email. I'm willing to answer pretty much any question. And yeah, happy hiking.